Good morning and welcome to Morning Java, brought to you as always by Get Go Cafe and Market, where right now, Dan, they've got the Screamsicle, a milkshake with chocolate fudge and orange ice cream. It's just so Halloween dessert. Check it out at Get Go Cafe right now.
Crucial catch.
Yes, sir.
They were giving these out at the stadiums. What is that for? I forgot.
It's they're saying you need to catch cancer, but at an earlier stage to go get tested for different things.
One of those many good charitable NFL.
One of the many charities that they're contributing to.
Yeah. Steelers.
Yeah.
Safety play.
Yes.
You and I talked about safety play. For years. I was going to say
all the
for
time,
months, right? But it's for years, really. And now that you have safeties.
Yes.
Like everybody's
ones.
talking about, right. But what ends up happening, though, is everyone gets all fired up about the pass rush. And, look at us, Blitzburg is back and everything else. And TJ and even Bud gets some kudos from at least a couple of people. The defensive line has gotten some. Obviously, losing Stephon Tuitt hurts. But the safeties.
Yes.
Let's talk about the safeties and how they've played.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. I just wrote about Terrell Edmunds on Carter's Classroom on the website, talking about how he actually grades out well. He's one of the few Steelers on this roster that don't have a turnover right now. And people thought, this was going to be it. He'd get all the turnovers.
So did he.
Let's
be fair.
And he still might. But through 6 games,
that's all he wants. He wants the hand on the ball.
And the thing is, he has 2 pass breakups on the season.
Yes.
Both of them in situations where he might have been able to come away with the football.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's really good about it. His footwork's in place. His athleticism is there. He just can't find the ball early enough. And that's a struggle that he's had.
However,
yes.
The safety play has been there.
Much better. I mean, it's across the board. They are not asked. They don't have to look at their safeties and think, man, we need more out of these guys. Minkah Fitzpatrick and Terrell Edmunds have become a duo.
Well, Minkah is a different case here, though.
Yes.
Because when Minkah comes, heck, never mind that. When Minkah was drafted, there was all kinds of questions coming out of Alabama because Nick Saban himself said, well, he's a slot guy. He's a slot corner. Not that was the only thing that he could do, but that's what he'd be best at. So Miami gets him, and the Dolphins, I feel like I have to cross myself when I reference the Dolphins here, but rest their souls. The entity formerly known as the Dolphins brought him in, and they were like, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they were doing with him.
Slot corner, sub-package linebacker, strong safety, free safety. They put him everywhere.
And he saw sub-package linebacker, and he went,
I'm out of here. And plus, he just saw how bad the organization was. And it's so crazy because they had Xavier Howard, who is one of the better cornerbacks in the league, but he's still like, get me out of here. Now he's with the Steelers, and they're saying, hey, just play free safety. Just play this position. Sometimes we'll ask you to jump up in the box, but we're just asking you to play safety. And he has found a home there. He's much more comfortable.
But remember, our first couple of games of this season, for the Steelers' perspective, we talked all the time about defense over the middle, over the middle. Now we don't talk about it anymore.
Because those guys are performing along with Devin Bush.
Having a better season, TJ Watt or Devin Bush?
Devin Bush.
Oh, get out.
He's a rookie.
He's talking about potential. Well. I'm not being a scout here. I'm not evaluating someone's potential.
He has
better season, 2019.
He has 6 turnovers.
Yeah.
He's I think 10th in the NFL in tackles.
Yeah, he's in the middle. That's not a fair comparison.
But I'm not saying that, but like TJ Watt's having a very good season, but also people are keying on him a little bit more. And he only has 4 sacks through a few games. He is leading the team.
It's a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
But now with Tuitt gone, it's going to really put a lot more pressure on him to do it by himself, because now teams are going to say, okay, because remember, he rushed on the side of Tuitt. Bud was with Cam, and now with Tuitt gone, that stunt isn't going to be as available as it has been, which has been a big part of why they've wrecked so much shot.
No, but not to change the subject, but you're going to see Bud come in on that wedge stunt now through the middle. Remember the stuff we were talking about in Latrobe that they were showing?
Yeah.
And those goal line
and they're going to do that with, especially, but that's on Cam's side. Watt's having a very good year, but if I'm talking about who's having the better season right now, Devin Bush, people have been trying to target him, and the only times that he really got picked on was by the Seahawks with Russell Wilson when he was going after the tight end.
Yeah,
Since then, he's really stepped up.
And he's also missed some tackles, and especially in the run game. I look right now at TJ Watt to take up his case, because I'll take Devin Bush for long-term potential, but I'll take TJ Watt for 2019. The impact that he's had. what he's been able to do, not just one-on-one, sometimes one-on-two, his ability to get through them, to knife right through them, has caused matchup nightmares for offensive coordinators. It's also freed up Bud Dupree on the other side because they can't pay as much attention over there. Bud's actually made an impact. Bud would be the first one to tip his cap to what TJ's been able to create for him over there. Is the challenge going to be greater with Stephon out? Yeah, but for me, what TJ Watt's been able to do defines what the Steelers have been able to do as a 2019 defense, which is pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. He's been a bigger part of that than Devin Bush has. Obviously, Devin Bush hasn't really been asked to be part of the pass rush much. So I would go to the guy who's played the biggest role in the biggest facet.
And I agree with the sense that TJ Watt, as a pass rusher, continues to improve. He has several moves in his repertoire now. Offensive tackles can't guess where he's coming from. I forget what the random tackle was for the Bengals that said a couple years last year after they played he was like, oh, TJ Watt stinks.
He's got the one move.
And then this year he got smoked by TJ Watt
repeatedly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he's definitely stepped up. The only reason I say Devin Bush is because that middle of the defense, when he's there, people aren't taking advantage of it anymore. And that's the only reason that I say him. But both are having extremely solid seasons.
They are, and I feel obligated to add this. I was on the radio the other day with Matt Williamson from Steelers Nation Radio, and I brought up a very similar discussion. I threw it at him. And you know what his answer was between those two? Stephon Tuitt.
Ooh.
So Tuitt goes down. And there was a reaction to it, but it was the reaction within the context of a fairly uplifting win out in Carson, California. And it wasn't really like, Stephon Tuitt went down, but it's not the end of the world. It's actually a really big loss, isn't it?
It's a much bigger situation than people realize. There were times where Stephon Tuitt was triple teamed, not just double teamed, but triple teamed, and he still was breaking into the pocket.
Well, triple, who are we talking about when you say triple? Because it's not all offensive line.
We're talking.
Who's tripling?
There was one time I saw a center, a guard, and a tackle converge onto him.
See, that's just an accident, though.
It may be an accident, but that's the thing is that when you're on the
what did he do? What happened?
When you're on the offensive line and you say, we got to stop that guy. Now, the center and the guard may know they have to get to it, but the tackle may be thinking, hey, if my guy, gently rushes or backs off, I'm going to jump to help him because I want to be the hero that stops Stephon Tuitt. And so when he snaps and he thinks, Bud's dropping in the coverage, I'm going to go over here and get to it. Then Bud comes off the edge and now the quarterback's saying, I got to get rid of this football now. Those are the type of things that Stephon Tuitt was bringing when he was on the field. And that's what I'm trying to...
But it was just brute force, too. It wasn't even like he was tricking anybody.
It wasn't like a nifty move.
I'd be the last person to rip on Aaron Donald. Or to diminish him in any way, but AD has his tricks. AD has his way of getting leverage and getting under a guy. Stephon was just murdering them. He was just going straight forward, and that's a different beast for teams to handle, and that's not, in all due respect here, what you're going to get from Javon Hargrave.
No.
Who's a very good player in his own right.
But he's a technician like you're talking about with Aaron Donald. Now, Aaron Donald's also a physical freak.
Right, Javon's he's a leverage guy more than anything. Tyson Alualu he's going to be more of your solid,
just veteran, do your job, maintain your gap.
We're trying to find nice ways to say it. He's first round pedigree and everything, but he's not going to be the guy that makes up for that kind of leverage. It's going to be just a different structure to that defense up front.
And I wrote about that last week because in Carter's Classroom, when you look at just the tape, especially in that Chargers game, you noticed early on that Pockets was collapsing. Why did that first fumble happen when Rivers threw the ball? It's because Stephon Tuitt was just pushing the line into him, and Rivers said, I'm getting rid of this, and then he accidentally threw it behind himself, and that's when Bush picked it up and scored. But when Tuitt came out, that pass rush up the middle wasn't there. Now, they stopped the run very well. Hargrave and Alualu were getting in their gaps.
They're real solid on that.
They're doing the right hand fighting moves. Their footwork's always good. Their feet are always chopping. But Tuitt would just bulldoze people. And when you bulldoze people like that on tape, when the offensive line meets every week and they're going over what they got to prepare for, they're circling you and
they're circling anyone.
They're saying, hey, we got to stop him no matter what.
It's a big loss. I actually feel really bad for him too.
This was his year.
This guy, he prepares like nobody you can imagine, and he prepares in part to avoid things like this.
Yep.
And now he's out. And I'll say this too: the other guy that needs to step up in this situation, and he never gets mentioned in this context, is Vince Williams, because he's going to be counted on that much more as a good run stopper.